Pope Francis is at it again, shockingly. But first, do you have an Android device? If you do, you would have been notified of this particular report just a short while ago. Make sure you download our free mobile app. The link is in the description. Pope Francis, also known as Jorge Bergoglio, the leader of Roman Catholicism, who is also known as Pope Francis, placed a crown on the head of a statue of Mary during his visit to Chile on Tuesday. Now let's stop for a second here. Do you remember in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 27, where John says, "He is the one who comes after me, the straps of whose sandals I am not worthy to untie." Now, let's put this in perspective here. Okay, so the Pope is placing a crown on Jesus' head and Mary's head, and they're calling it a coronation. Let me read to you in historical terms what a coronation is. A coronation is the act of placement or bestowal of a crown upon a monarch's head. The term generally also refers not only to the physical crowning, but to the whole ceremony where the act of crowning occurs, along with the presentation of other items of regalia, marking the formal investiture of a monarch with regal power. Aside from the crowning, a coronation ceremony may comprise many other rituals, such as taking of special vows by the monarch, the investing and presentation of regalia to the monarch, and acts of homage by the new ruler's subjects, and the performance of other ritual deeds of special significance to the particular nation. Western-style coronations have often included anointing the monarch with holy oil. A chrism, as it is often called, the anointing ritual's religious significance, follows examples found in the Bible. The monarch's consort may also be crowned either simultaneously with the monarch or as a separate event. Once a vital ritual among the world's monarchies, coronations have changed over time for a variety of socio-political and religious factors. Most modern monarchies have dispensed with them altogether, preferring simpler ceremonies to mark a monarch's ascension to the throne. Interestingly enough, if we just look at the Bible, we can clearly see where Jesus says, "It is finished." But we have this man, Jorge Bergoglio, attempting to crown Mother Mary and Jesus. What could this possibly mean, or do you get where I'm going with this? The coronation took place during Mass at O'Higgins Park in Santiago, where the tens of thousands in attendance watched Bergoglio place a crown on the head of the Christ child, and then also on the head of Mary. In Chile, the statue is known as Our Lady of Mount Carmel, who is also known by Roman Catholics in the country as the patron saint and queen of Chile. The Virgin, who wanted to be called your handmaid, was chosen mother of the Redeemer, and true mother of all the living, and now exalted above the choirs of the angels, reigns gloriously with your Son, interceding for all men as an advocate of grace and queen of mercy. He prayed during Mass, moments before crowning the statue. Lord, look kindly upon these, your servants, who by adorning with a visible crown the image of the mother of your Son, recognize your Son as King of the universe and invoke the Virgin as Queen, Bergoglio said. The Pope then proceeded to bless the crowns, and was escorted to place them on the heads of the images. Bergoglio then stood before the statue swinging a smoking censer of incense. So we have John saying that he is not worthy to untie the Lord's shoes. But then we have the Pope placing a crown on the head of Christ. I'm sorry, what gives him the authority to do so? I want you to think back to the very beginning of this video, about 4 minutes ago, when we were talking about the historical context of placing a crown on one's head. In other words, let me review. Once a vital ritual among the world's monarchies, coronations have changed over time for a variety of socio-political and religious factors. Most modern monarchies have dispensed with them altogether, preferring simpler ceremonies to mark a monarch's ascension to the throne. Who on earth does the Pope think he is? He is just a man. But many Catholics are failing to recognize this. And this is a very dangerous situation. But it gets worse. This article was originally reported by the Christian News Network. While thousands attended the Mass where Bergoglio crowned the Marian statue, Mike Grindon of Proclaiming the Gospel Ministries told Christian News Network that Catholics place an inordinate amount of emphasis on Mary, and wrongly ascribe attributes to her that only belong to God. The Pope crowning of the statue of Mary continues Roman Catholicism's fascination with another Mary that has been given the title Queen of Heaven. The Pope crowned a statue of Mary because she is said to be the Queen over all things, he said. Mary holds a very exalted position in the Roman Catholic Church, so much so that she is venerated as a goddess. This is blasphemy, because the Catholic Mary has been given divine attributes that only God possesses. The emphasis on Mary by Catholics robs Christ of his glory, honor, and praise. Grendon, a former Roman Catholic of 30 years, pointed to the various doctrines about Mary as written in the Catechism of the Catholic Church and other official writings. That is all the information I've got for you guys right now. I want to thank you all for watching and listening. Let me know what you think in the comments. God bless and carry on.